Welcome to 21st Century IAS Delhi Campus C.A.R.E initiative, Current Affairs through Reverse Engineering. Let us look into the first article for the day. No plans to go slow on hydropower, says Minister. The Glacier Lake outburst that triggered a flood in Sikkim and destroyed the Chungtang Dam will not slow down India's reliance on hydroelectric power. So here, Chungtang Dam can be a potential question in prelims. It is built on River Teesta, that is point number 1. 2, its construction started in 2008 and its commercial operation started in 2017. And it's in Sikkim. These 3 points you will have to remember. Now coming to the MCQ. Consider the following pairs: hydropower plant and rivers. Shivasamudra hydropower project, Godavari, no, it's on River Kaveri. Sardar Sarovar project is on River Narmada. C.A.R.E hydroelectric power project is on River Bhagirathi. Srisalem left bank hydroelectric project is on River Krishna. These 3 are correct. First one is wrong. So only 3 is the correct answer. Shivasamudra hydro power project is in Karnataka. Along with the rivers, you also remember the states. Just in case if they give the match the following with power projects and state in which it is located, it will be easy for you. Sardar Sarovar project is in Gujarat and it's very famous because of the Narmada Bachao Andolan. C.A.R.E hydroelectric power project is in Uttarakhand and Srisalem hydroelectric power project is in Andhra Pradesh. And on River Godavari, we have 2 very famous projects. It will be useful for elimination: Polavaram and Kaleshwaram. Alright, now previous year question related to this. Bagalihar, Dulhasti and Salal hydropower projects have been developed on which of the following rivers? It is Chenab only. Yeah. Now, second article. Are southern states being punished for their success? Here, there are important points given in this paragraph. The Finance Commission decides not only on how much should be devoted from center to states, but also the distribution of these proceeds among the states. Vertical and horizontal distribution, both. Okay, so these are based on certain criteria which work against the South. Interstate distribution is based on 2 factors. 1 is the state's share in total population, and 2, the income distance ratio. What is income distance ratio? This can be a potential prelims bit. Income distance ratio is how far the state's per capita income is higher or lower than the national average. Okay, so on these 2 fronts, the southern states are performing relatively better, and hence they are getting less funds from the center because their population is minimalistic as compared to states like Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, and they are performing comparatively better in terms of income with respect to northern states. Hence, the southern states are not getting more funds from the center. Alright, now the MCQ related to this. Consider the following statements with regard to Finance Commission. According to the Constitution of India, Finance Commission's chairman is selected from among persons who have had experience in public affairs. See, this part is true. Yes, the Commission's chairman is selected from persons who have had experience in public affairs. However, it is not according to the Constitution. It is according to law framed by the Parliament. Alright, it is the Finance Commission Act of 1951. So the statement is wrong. All the recommendations of Finance Commission are implemented through executive orders. No, some are implemented through presidential orders also. The Commission determines its procedure and have such powers in performance of their functions as President may by law confer on it. Parliament, not President. Now, previous year question related to this. Consider the following. It was given in 2023. Demographic performance. Okay. For the horizontal tax devolution, the 15th Finance Commission used how many of the above as criteria other than population area? and income distance. So demographic performance, yes. Forest and ecology, yes. Governance reforms, no. Stable government, no. Tax and fiscal efforts, yes. So 1, 2 and 5 are correct. B is the correct answer. Next article. Why SLLs also need to be reformed? Now what are SLLs? Special and local laws. Now what are these special and local laws? Special and local laws are those laws which identify criminal activity that state government frames for specific issues. Now we'll see the MCQ related to this particular article. Consider the following statements with regard to Indian Penal Code. It was drafted on the recommendations of First Law Commission of India, established in 1834 under the Charter Act of 1833 under chairmanship of Thomas Babington Macaulay. Yes, this is correct. Next, it came into force in British India and all princely states during the British rule in 1862. No, princely states had their own legal system. So the statement is wrong. 1 is right. Alright. Now, in addition to Macaulay's minutes on education, another landmark draft is also attributed to him. Identify the draft from the following. Draft of Indian Penal Code. So this was given in 2011. Next article. Why are earthquakes frequent in Afghanistan? How many earthquakes have hit Afghanistan over the recent past? What is the anatomy of an earthquake? What is the hypocenter and epicenter? Now why is this in news? Because an earthquake of magnitude 6.3 struck western Afghanistan on October 15th, barely a few days after the multiple earthquakes of similar strength killed at least 1,000 people in the Herat province. Okay, that's why this is in news. Now, what you have to concentrate is these words. What is hypocenter and epicenter? Now, what is hypocenter? Hypocenter is nothing but the focus of an earthquake. Alright? It is the focus of an earthquake. That is the point of origin below the ground. Point of origin of the earthquake below the ground is known as hypocenter or focus. Now, what is epicenter? Epicenter is a point directly above the hypocenter. Okay, this is focus or hypocenter and this is epicenter. Yeah, these two words you have to be familiar. Now, here in the gist, you will get the answer for this question. Why are earthquakes frequent in Afghanistan? We will read the gist now. The earth is made up of chunks of solid rocks called tectonic plates. Discontinuities in these rock masses along which they have moved are called fault lines. So fault lines definition also you have to remember. Next, Afghanistan is now why are the earthquakes more prominent in Afghanistan? Here is the answer. Afghanistan is located over multiple fault lines in the region where the Indian and Eurasian tectonic plates meet. These plates collide often, leading to significant tectonic activity. This is the reason why the earthquakes are prominent in Afghanistan. MCQ related to this. Consider the following statements with regard to Pamir Mountains. World's largest glacier outside polar region is located here. No. No, this is wrong statement because it is Svetchenko Glacier. Alright, next. A major part of these mountains is located in Tajikistan. Yes, this is correct. Now we'll see the explanation for this, alright. Svetchenko Glacier is the longest in the former USSR and the longest glacier outside the polar regions is located here. Most of the Pamirs lie within Tajikistan, but the fringes penetrate Afghanistan, China and Kyrgyzstan. Alright. Now the previous year question related to this topic or similar topic. Where is the Aghil Pass located? It is in the Trans-Himalayas. Now, next article. SC asks states to appoint officers under POSH Act. Now, what is this POSH Act? The Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act is also known as POSH Act of 2013. Right? We'll look into the MCQ related to this article. Consider the following statements with regard to Sexual Harassment at Workplace Act 2013. The right of all women working or visiting any workplace, whether in the capacity of regular, temporary, ad hoc or daily wages basis, is protected under the Act. Yes, absolutely. It covers a woman who is working in a dwelling place or house. Yes. It defines unorganized sector as any enterprise which employs less than 10 workers. Yes. Internal Complaints Committee constituted under the Act will be presided by a woman employed at a senior level at the workplace from amongst the employees. Yes. All the four statements are correct. We will see the previous year question related to this. The judgment of the Supreme Court of India in the Vishaka case pertains to sexual harassment in the workplace. Vishaka guidelines. That's why we call them as Vishaka guidelines. So please be aware of the names of the judgments. Okay? Yeah. Little Ice Age was wet and was not uniformly cold and dry. It is given in PIB, so it will be very important for us to know the terms and also the gist of the article. A new study of Little Ice Age, a global climatic event between CE 1671 to 1942, which shows significant variations of rainfall patterns during that age, challenges the conventional notion of uniformly cold and dry climate with reduced monsoon rainfall during the LIA. The Western Ghats experiences both the southwest summer monsoon during June to September and the northeast winter monsoon during October to December. Okay, now we'll see the example. Please remember these things. 1, 2, 3. Alright, now we'll see the MCQ. Consider the following statements. Western Ghats experience both the southwest summer monsoon during June to September and the northeast winter monsoon during October to December. Yes, we've just seen, right? The Western Ghats experience this point. So it is true. Southwest monsoon usually retreats in the month of December from Indian subcontinent. It is not December, it is October. So statement 1 is right. Now, previous year question related to this theme. Consider the following statements. The duration of monsoon decreases from southern India to North India. Yes. The amount of annual rainfall in the northern plains of India decreases from east to west. Yes, that's why northeast. See, if you observe, northeastern region has more rainfall when compared to western India, right? Cherrapunji, all these things are located in the northeast, right? So you can, with common sense, you can mark this as a right statement. So both the statements are correct. Now, next article. Flexible supercapacitors with efficient energy storage developed using conducting polymer and nanostructured inorganic oxide hybrids. Now, here this term supercapacitors can be a potential question in prelims. So let us see the MCQ related to that. Consider the following statements with regard to supercapacitors. They have a type of electrochemical energy storage systems which have greater power density and specific capacitance. Yes, first you need to know what is a capacitor. Okay, capacitor is a device used to store an electric charge consisting of one or more pairs of conductors separated by an insulator. There will be conductors and there will be insulator, and it is a device used to store the electric charge. That is what a capacitor. Now, what is a supercapacitor? Supercapacitor is a type of electrochemical energy storage system which has greater power density and specific capacitance but with lower voltage limits. Alright, a super version of this capacitor is called a supercapacitor, right? So this is true. They have the ability to efficiently release energy with a high density over relatively short time. Yes. Now both the statements are correct. Previous year question related to this theme. In a dry cell battery, which of the following are used as electrolytes? Ammonium chloride and zinc fluoride, yes. Some MNCs may face tax heat as SC clears air on MFN applicability. Now what is MFN? MFN is Most Favored Nation clause of WTO. Okay? Yeah. Now what did the Supreme Court say? The Supreme Court on Thursday settled the long-standing issue regarding the applicability of the Most Favored Nation clause, denying the lower withholding tax rates on dividend payouts and other relevant remittances as interpreted earlier by these countries. Now, to get more clarity, we have to solve a MCQ and then you will have some clarity on MFN. Alright? Now, first, we'll see the UPSC previous year question related to this theme. The most favored nation clause under WTO regime is based on the principle of non-discrimination between nations. See, while looking at the name like most favored nation, you might misinterpret the meaning. But the real meaning of most favored nation clause under WTO regime is non-discrimination between nations. However, there are exceptions. There are exceptions with strict conditions. Now, here is the MCQ about exceptions. In which of the following circumstances exceptions are allowed under most favored nation clause of WTO? Okay, countries can establish free trade agreements that exclusively apply to goods traded within the group, effectively discriminating against external goods. Yes, these are exception clauses. Actually, MFN means this one. These are exception clauses. Be very, very careful when you are reading the question. Next, developing countries may be granted special access to markets as an exception to trade barriers promoting economic development. Yes, this is correct. Countries are permitted to raise trade barriers against products they deem to be traded unfairly from particular nations, safeguarding their own industries and interests. Yes, so all of these statements are correct with respect to exceptions given in the most favored nation clause. Please remember and mark these up. Okay, next article. Strengthening dollar is a global risk, says RBI paper. Now we'll come to the MCQ related to this article. Consider the following statements. The effect of devaluation of a currency is that it necessarily decreases the competitiveness of the domestic exports in the foreign markets. No, it actually increases the competitiveness. We'll see in the explanation part. Devaluation can actually make the domestic exports more competitive in foreign markets because it makes the domestic currency weaker compared to other currencies. This means foreign buyers can get more of the domestic currency for the same amount of their own currency, which can boost exports. Yeah. It increases the foreign value of domestic currency. No, it's not. Improves the trade balance? No. It will not improve the trade balance. How will it improve the trade balance? Your exports are becoming cheaper and imports are becoming costlier. So, no, it is not correct. So, none. Now, previous year question. Consider the following statements. The effect of devaluation of a currency is that it necessarily improves the competitiveness of the domestic exports in the foreign markets. Yes. So, one is correct, C and D are gone. Second, increase the foreign value of the domestic currency? No. We have already seen no. So, only A is correct. Next article. RBI begins CBDC pilot in call money market. What is CBDC? Central Bank Digital Currency. Alright. So, we'll see the MCQ related to this. Consider the following statements with regard to central bank digital currency. It is a sovereign currency issued by the central banks in alignment with their monetary policy. Yes, it is correct. It appears as an asset on the central bank's balance sheet. Yes, this is correct. It is freely convertible against commercial bank money and cash. Yes, this is correct. It is non-fungible legal tender for which holders need not have a bank account. No, this is wrong because it is a fungible legal tender for which holders need not have a bank account. So it is fungible legal tender. So this is wrong. A, B, C are correct and 4 is incorrect. So only 3 statements are right. Now UPSC previous year question related to this theme. With reference to central bank digital currencies, consider the following statements. It is possible to make payments in a digital currency without using US dollar or SWIFT system. Yes, this is correct. A digital currency can be distributed with conditions programmed into it, such as time frame for spending it. Yes, this is also correct. So both A and B, or both 1 and 2 are correct. That's it for today. All the very best.